Greetings, flesh creatures. It is I, Megatron. On behalf of TFYLP, I want to congratulate you for listening to the most refined collective podcast on this miserable little planet Earth. Yes. Here you'll find knowledgeable fans discussing every aspect of Transformers and beyond. Now, enjoy the show while I continue my path to complete conquest of all of you miserable biological entities. Predacons, terrorize!
Hello, welcome to TFYLP for Monday, November 1st, episode 404. I'm Lucas, and I am here with Paul.
Hidely ho.
And Rick.
I'm unmuted.
And we also have some special guests from here at ToyRobot magazine. We've got Eric and Bill.
Hello.
Hey, guys.
Remind me again which one's Eric, which one's Bill.
I'm Eric.
And I am Bill.
Okay, so you're... Okay, remind me which one's the handsome one.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. That's... You guys didn't get to stare at all of this last time. You just
talked
Just
to me
had
last
Eric.
time.
That's right.
That's true. We had to have you back and get the whole package, you know.
There you go.
Yeah. We're a package deal.
So thanks, guys, for joining us. I know we had you on... Gosh, I can't even remember how long it's been.
It was a while back.
But it was before the Kickstarter, so you guys had launched a Kickstarter a while back for the first issue of the magazine, and it, you know, I guess the Kickstarter, didn't quite go the way you expected, I guess, and it was a little different, but you're here. So tell us about kind of how things have been going, you know, since you're, you know, over the last however many months.
You know, I think it's been going really well. Once we the Kickstarter, it didn't meet its goal, but we also decided that there was enough interest that was generated that we still wanted to proceed with the project. So, you know, we got issue 1 out there. I think we were just talking, we had like 300 to 400 issues go out, and we were pretty happy with that. And so we moved forward with issue 2, if not to just kind of keep ourselves sane through COVID, give us something to do. And we just marched right ahead, got it done, and tried some new stuff, some new photography styles that I've been working on, and I think it came out great.
Yeah, definitely. You know, everything everywhere got slowed down due to COVID, so we didn't get issue 2 out as quick as we would have liked to, but we also wanted to make sure we did this one right. So, you know, we have a better website to launch the product through. Figured out a lot of problems we had with issue number 1, and I think moving forward our production rate's going to be a little bit more on schedule.
So, before we get started, where can we find issue 1?
Issue 1, right now, you can get an archive edition, which is a reprint of issue 1, and that's on our website, ToyRobotMagazine.com, and we printed it with a dual-tone cover, so it separates it from the first issue, gives it a little collectability for people who do have the first issue, because issue 1 came in 2 flavors. There was standard and the delicious metallic.
Yeah. So if you have the metallic, so what we're going to do is every time we print a new issue, you will have it the standard or the metallic cover. When those are done being sold and the pre-orders are closed, those will never be reprinted with those colored covers again. So you'll never be able to get the standard or the metallic cover. All archive editions will probably be this new duotone cover to differentiate it from the first printing.
It's like the Disney Vault, but we don't open it.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of a neat, you know, way to do it for collectability, and it, you know, if you want to get all versions of the magazine, I suppose, or just differentiate.
We have a lot of people doing that.
Yeah, like I'd always imagined. I mean, we're collectors. Why not have a magazine that's collectible? It was a gamble. I wasn't like thinking that that's what was going to make or break us, but we had people ordering 2 of each issue, and we've got people who are framing them. And it was just so awesome to see that like collectors were going the extra step to get multiple copies to collect them. So we're like, all right, well, let's play around with that idea. Let's keep moving that forward and put some of those collectability things in there.
Sorry.
I like
there we
that.
go.
Now, is there?
I realized I was
is
trying
there
to
a
figure out
preview
what
yet?
the comments here. Sorry.
Is there a preview yet for issue 2?
Right now for issue 2, we don't have a preview out. We have it ready to go to the printer. Orders are up and available.
The most that people have seen is the cover. We haven't leaked any pages. We've only hinted about some of the content. Like I said, we have the full second issue into the printer. All he's got to do is click go. But we're gonna wait till we get our orders in, which they end on November 20th. And at some point in a little bit, we actually we're gonna be doing our metallic posters again. And I got some proofs in today, and I brought them to this.
Yep.
So we'll be able to, I guess, premiere a few of the posters that are going to be inside the issue, but in their metallic format.
They're metallic, larger format.
Yep,
versions.
12 by 18s.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because those metallic posters are really neat. I had gotten the Voltron Unicron one, I guess,
Yeah,
that you had
That
done.
was really popular. Yeah.
Yep, that was
Yeah.
tight. And those Russ Cassidy and Fabian Gonzalez, I believe, are the
I was
names.
going to say, this is what it...
They knocked
Yep.
that poster out of the park, man. Like, that was just awesome.
So, yeah, and
so will the next one be like the vehicle Voltron versus Primus or something?
No. But we do have Fabian and
Fabian and Russ.
Russ, there we go. They will have another piece of artwork as a poster.
Yep.
We have Lek Customs allowing us to use one of his really cool cel-shaded toys as a poster again. And then the rest of the posters are all really cool toy shot that Bill did. Some really fun, neat stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say, the posters are inside the magazine itself as far as smaller versions of it. So the ones I think that you did that were the metallic posters, I can't remember what the size was.
The metallic ones were 12 by 18.
12 by 18.
Yep.
But yeah, there's smaller
fact,
versions
wanna-
like inside the magazine.
We'll show off a few of them. So this is the first time anyone has gotten to see anything from issue 2. Here is
Taco
a metallic taco tank. So we had him out at Lake Mina. Got him a little wet.
So that's actually taken in a lake. That's not FX or anything like that.
And then we've got the little G1 mini bots.
Oh, that's fun.
Collage.
Ooh,
Yep.
very nice.
Bill put a lot of work. Like the editing on that one was crazy.
Yep.
See, sometimes you just got to keep it simple.
Yep.
Sometimes simple is safe. That looks really good.
The simpler stuff is by far my favorite. I'll show you something at the end that's not even ToyRobot related, but this one we got to fix the logo because it didn't really come across right. We got to do it in red, not yellow. But here's LEK's work. He did Blaster, and he did a fantastic job. And I decided that I wanted to keep the one with his hand in the photo because we had people that didn't even realize that they were action figures. They just thought they were illustrations. So it's like, dude, let's keep his hand in there.
Yep.
And then this is one of my personal favorites because it took forever to set up. We put together my Devastator, the Generations one, and the Studio Series one, and I set them up. We set up a fog machine. I put some effects on there, and we got a battle between the two Titans. We got Devastator versus Devastator.
Oh, that's fun.
So that'll be the 2-page poster that's in the middle of the magazine.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got, this is the cover. Scorponok busting out of the woods after the Dollar Tree keychain Autobots. We'll just say to scale.
Yeah.
Good move.
So those have become great for scale photography, I think.
And then just on the simpler is better. I mean, this was a lot of work, but keeping it simple. I've been doing a series of posters on my own, and I did a Star Wars one of all the vintage characters, all the toys.
So that's
in
the
one
kind of
print.
stuff that'll be available again. We'll do specialty sets.
Yep.
Now we've been debating if we're going to do them as a full set or individual again. We don't know.
Yeah, I think it'll probably be a combination. Like, we should give people the choice because they may not like all the posters, so you can go and pick whatever ones you want. If you want the bundle, maybe get a little bit of a discount. And I think that we were thinking that we would have the posters available in the off time when the magazine's not.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
when the pre-orders close, posters will become available.
Yep.
So then, are you doing the same thing? I think last time, didn't you do it where you did like a poster a week or something along those lines?
Yeah, we did that on Facebook, but this time I think we're just going to have them all available on the website, just like the magazine. And then whoever wants them in a 30-day window, they can order what they want, and they're made to order, and we ship them out.
Gotcha.
And then I have made the decision that the posters, at least one poster will tease something that will be coming up in the upcoming issue. So, like in issue number 1, one of the posters was Battle Beast. We do a short write-up in issue number 2 about Battle Beast, just a short little write-up about it. So in the upcoming issues, say Taco Tank or maybe the Scorponok or something will get a nice little write-up. And it kind of becomes your hint of what's to come.
So now you had mentioned that the pre-orders for the magazine close on November 20th, and then the posters would go on sale for 30 days after that. Is it possible that, like, if I wanted to order one of these as a gift for someone for Christmas, like, is it possible that you guys will get these out before Christmas, or is it going to be something where it's going to be after the New Year?
You know, shipping has been crazy. Like, it's just been so undependable. Like, I wouldn't say on the large scale, but there has been issues with getting things to people on time, especially internationally.
Also, we were a little slow off the gun on issue number 2, so...
If, it's certainly something we can talk about because we would love to have them, like, available for the holidays, and we can get them printed relatively quick and then get them shipped out. So I don't want to say we can't do it, but I'm definitely not going to say we can do it. And maybe it doesn't mean we do 30 days. Maybe it means we do 2 weeks instead or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of tough. I mean, especially with the holidays and whatnot. Like, I mean, you never know what the post office is going to do. You know that like, I know that we've had variable shipping delays with all of our stuff recently. So
yeah.
Do not guarantee delivery by Christmas. If you just don't. Just don't do it.
Do it.
All right. Yeah. Can I throw a free idea at you guys? And maybe you guys run with it. Maybe you tell me I'm stupid.
Do it.
Maybe you guys do both. Why don't you take your excellent photography, and if you can't get issue 2 printed out for the holidays, why don't you do holiday cards?
Well, that's something we could do. Well, issue 2 will be out by the holidays. I mean, like I said, it'll be shipping.
We will have all of our magazines that everyone ordered by the 20th. We will have them in hand by the 29th. And then once we have them in hand, we'll be fulfilling them, and it takes us, depending on the quantity, a day or 2 to get them all out to everyone. So magazines are anticipated to be mailing out the first week of December. So there's no reason, I guess, that people, at least stateside, shouldn't be getting their magazines before Christmas.
What did I just tell you?
Don't be making
We're not guaranteeing.
Not guaranteeing. I'm just saying the odds seem like they're in the favor for that.
Yeah, it does. It sounds like a good amount of people should be able to get them before the holidays. If
cards
if
is a
that's
cool
really
idea though for the future. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, unless the nuclear holocaust happens or something, that there are acts of God that maybe will keep us from delivering on that promise. But we're going to do our darndest.
Yeah.
Well, I think what Rick's trying to say is that the photos are quite top notch. Like the design and the look of the magazine is quite good, and there might be other opportunities if you can keep up that level of quality. Beyond the posters, beyond the magazine itself.
Yeah, it's definitely put together very well. So, looking at the magazine today, I was wondering, a lot of the articles seem to be like short little hits, little not quite blurbs, but just short little write-ups.
Yeah.
Is there any thought to expanding those articles online? Maybe when you buy the magazine, you get also a downloadable PDF and it has a link to something else.
That's something we've been talking about. Is down the road integration with like PDFs and website stuff. The second issue will be along the same lines as the first issue for a little bit shorter articles. My goal with issue number 3 is a deeper article reading length. So no article will be shorter than about 500 words. There will be issue 1 and issue 2. The goal was to have at least 1 to 2 articles in about the 800 to 1,000 word range. Because the other thing is, I do want smaller kids to be able to read this, as well as an adult to read it and enjoy. But I don't want a small child to feel like, say, a 5 or 6 year old to feel overwhelmed with what they're reading and still be able to enjoy it. Because we are trying to appeal to a larger audience, not just people our age collecting. We had 2 kids from Peru, like a little 8-year-old and 10-year-old review our magazine.
Yeah, they did a full YouTube review of our magazine. It was awesome.
And the information they knew blew my mind. They knew what G1 decoys were, and they were all excited about.
They're definitely watching Transformers with their dad.
Definitely.
And I got a friend who their kid is 6. He's taking the posters out, hanging them up. I mean, doing exactly the things that we were hoping that at least the younger audience would do.
Number 2 will be along the same lines. Number 3 will definitely be a little bit more wordier and meatier for article length, because I want to get feedback like what Rick said there. Is I want more feedback like that, so I know where to put our article lengths at.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the thing for me reading through this, there's a lot of just, really neat stuff, and especially if someone, a lot of us take for granted that you're like, oh, well, obviously I know what the G1 decoys are, right. Doesn't everyone? But no, everyone doesn't. And so I think it's kind of neat, some of these types of things where you're flipping through the magazine and you see, oh, well, this is, kind of a neat introduction to a lot of these things, or like the GoBots article that you did and things like that.
And that's something that we had to fight really hard against. We had a lot of pushback of, well, the forums are out there, all the information's already out there, why would we want to read a magazine? I said that's cool because, again, people like us, we've been in the game since we were kids. We've all become experts in our field, but the random person who might pick up this magazine and go like, I used to love these when I was a kid, they don't know, this is going to be your little random jumping spots. Maybe they read the article and then start doing a deep dive on, again, say decoys, and that expands their universe into further product. Because, again, we know this stuff because we grew up with this stuff. We saw it come out. We were there when the internet first started up. So we were devouring everything that came in from overseas. And a lot of people don't know where to start because, 35 plus years of material is a lot to consume.
One of the main takeaways we wanted were fans to read it, and when they're done, go, I didn't know that. Maybe one article in there. And they were like, wow, I didn't know that, or I had forgotten about that. That to me, that's the biggest thing that I want people to do, is to have that oh my god moment. I totally remember that. And we got a lot of people I didn't think it was something easy to forget, but we did that McDonald's poster where we grabbed all my McDonald's Transformers. Yeah. We sat in McDonald's. We sat them up with breakfast. Got a bunch of people staring at us. Yep.
We shot that in a McDonald's at 10 in the morning, and right behind those cups, we had a guy sitting, ruining our shot for a half hour.
Yeah.
With that perfect shot, Bill went to go hit the shutter,
and he sat down, bald ass head, shining, reflecting the light, and I'm like, oh, man.
It was great.
Yep, it was awesome.
Yeah, I love that photo.
Yeah, but that's the thing that's kind of fun. Again, just some of these vintage toys, and I know it's special nowadays when you don't have as many conventions to go to. Just some of these eclectic things that you can see, you can at least experience some of them, even though we're not going to shows.
Yeah,
these little rock guys.
Yep.
Yeah,
MOTU Joe, the Masters Universe Meteorbs. He was able to source us the images for those because of all the He-Man stuff I have, I don't have the Meteorbs for some reason.
So yeah, but that was the main thing I know with Rick, that I kind of was reading some of these articles on like the meteor orbs, like I didn't realize that they existed, that they're a thing, and of course, probably go and do a Google search on them, try to learn more. But I do think it'd be kind of neat to have
You just
some
don't
type of
collect enough
even
stuff.
right, exactly. Rick's like, obviously, I mean, who doesn't have a full collection of meteor orbs? But yeah, I think it'd be kind of.
I'm missing a few meteor orbs, but I have almost a full collection of G1 He-Man. I'm missing some of those European figures.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But what I was gonna say is I think it'd be kind of neat, even if you did some like QR codes or something in the magazine, or just whatever, some type of link or whatever for more information. Like that, I think that would be kind of a neat way. So that way, if I did want to do a deep dive, it's like, okay, now that I've done this, look what they are.
I like that.
Yeah, our I mean, we say we got a team of 5, but behind the scenes, pre-production wise, the majority of this, it's 2 guys, and you're looking at them, and that's what we do. So our idea list is a mile long, but what we are actually able to accomplish in the amount of time that we have.
Issue number 3 will also be the first time we branch out and we have other writers other than myself and Bill.
Yep.
So Lauren Stone and Scott Zillner of Toy Wizards are going to be coming in and doing an article for us in number 3. I gave them free reign. I said, make it about transforming robots. I said I couldn't pick a better pair of people to write article. I've known Scott for online for a while. Lauren I've known for a little bit shorter of a time, but I mean, they're good people. They're easy to work with. So,
and our special guest for issue 3, we between 3 people, it'd be Daniel Arsenault. It could be Adam Goldberg, or who's the other?
The other person I've been talking to is the folks over at BotCon.
Oh yeah,
BotCon. What's that reaction for, Rick? Come on.
We'll. I always say research who you work with. Research who you work with before you work with them.
Yep. No, but more likely we'll probably be doing either Daniel or Goldberg, because they've been really easy to get a hold of and talk to. So.
Yeah, because with issue 2, it's Brian Folkweiss, and I'm in film production, so. Given the popularity of the toys that made us, and basically this part of culture getting even more mainstream, I wanted to pick his brain on how it even was possible, because you've got, I mean, the Toy Hunter, Jordan Hembrough, he was doing that well before on Travel Channel, and it wasn't like it was catching on as fast as it needed to. But that boom that came out of the toys that made us, it just skyrocketed. Yeah. So I was really interested to hear how that whole process went, and that's the kind of things I'm looking for.
Absolutely, yeah. And I know that in this article, or I'm sorry, in the first issue, that you had Zach Oat, that you did an interview with him as well. So that was kind of fun.
When I knew I was going to start doing the magazine, I reached out to him. Pretty much the day after we got our first true meeting done, and we were like, okay, we're going to do a magazine. I reached out to him the next day. I said, here's the deal. Toy Fair is the biggest inspiration behind us doing this. I said, I read every single thing that you ever did from the day you hopped on that magazine until the day you hopped off. I was like, I need you to do an interview for me in issue number 1. All about doing it, so.
You did it.
Yeah, it was kind of fun, nice.
Well, that's great. Well, I'm glad that you guys were, you're able to get that first issue out. You got the second issue coming up. So I guess the pre-orders are coming out now. So if you go to your site, what was that website again?
ToyRobotMagazine.com. Yep.
Okay.
And so we are working on number 3 right now too. Like all the articles for number 3 will be done by November.
That's great.
If If there is one clarification on the website, I don't know if you guys have run into global shipping, just headaches, I guess is what I'll call them. Making sure that shipping is fair and like appropriate for people overseas.
It's hard.
It is. It's hard. Well, through the back,
it costs a lot of money to send stuff across borders. It just does.
And I've been finding that the majority of people that live overseas understand that, within reason. So the way I set up the back end of the site was that the global shipping options, I limited them to basically the two cheapest ones that you could pick. So I would tell anyone international who goes on there to pre-order, when it initially shows you what your shipping is, that may not be the right one until you sign in with your PayPal and everything, and then it'll give you the lower one. Yeah. So, and I can't change that, but I hope that's not scaring people away.
No, we tried to work with our international fans as best as we could.
One thing to do for international people is maybe offer them that PDF download.
That's something down the road as well.
Maybe put a watermark on it, but it's something to think about.
The digital ideas, the PDF ideas, the way that we're kicking those around the office are that after a certain period of time of the hard copies being out and existing, we will have a digital version of the magazines that people will be able to buy that, maybe didn't want to spend that $14 shipping and handling charge for a $13 magazine. And then also, like you were talking about expanding content, Eric and I had discussed expanding on articles on Facebook or on our social media platforms. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's great. So so pre-orders for issue 2, I guess, are now through November 20th. Is that right?
Yes, correct. And the reprint of issue 1, if you missed it.
Yep. So check that out on the website. Before we let you guys go, is there anything else you want to add?
Just that we're really thankful for all the fans who supported us and continue to support us. We love the Facebook activity that we have. We honestly, we're very thankful that we've got a fan base out there that loves us.
Like you've had us on your shows. And I'm going to tell you, one of my greatest things I've seen so far is we only had that one issue out so far. And a few sites we put up a post and people are like, well, I ain't paying that. That's stupid. And then, I'm like, well, that's a bummer to read. And underneath, some people are like, yo, hold up, man. I have that, and I freaking enjoyed it, and give it a chance. And it's like, man, there's somebody defending us. That's real. That feels good, It's nice to see. So we're already developing, a nice little fan base. So to everybody, thank you. Thank you guys for having us on. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, you guys are putting a lot of effort into this, for sure. And it comes through in the look and style and the feel. And, I think you just got to ignore when someone isn't happy with it.
It's in one ear and out the other.
Yeah, because there's people that like it.
Please everyone.
Nope. And it's
stay positive. You guys, you put together something that looks really good. So just stay positive and keep doing it as long as you enjoy it.
No, and you guys, like I said, we love when people throw ideas at us, and we can sit there and go I never thought of that. So the QR codes. And
all ideas are welcome. Constructive criticism, we're very open to that. And just ideas down the road and collaboration, that's another big thing.
Yes.
Socially collaborating with people online and making it a community, making that magazine a community effort. I mean, that just feels great that we're going to have other people in there. So,
thank you guys.
Oh, you're welcome. It's a good project. I'm glad I know it was a little rocky at the beginning with the Kickstarter, but I'm glad to see that it's finally come through. It's good.
Yep.
And if we get right now, it's all us distributing. But if it gets better and better and better, the hope is to have physical distribution so that people could walk into a Barnes & Noble or a Walmart and just buy it off the shelf. And to be busy enough with enough members that we can actually offer subscriptions. Because we would love to offer subscriptions.
Yeah, we've had a lot of people asking. We're just not there yet.
Yeah, we're not there yet with the numbers to be able to promise subscriptions. So it's going to be a bi-monthly, tri-monthly kind of commitment right now.
Well, yeah, but it's nice. I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day, so I think as long as you're just plugging along and working towards the next issue and everything, again, is really nice looking magazine. A lot of the photography is really fun, and it introduced you to a lot of things in the magazine. So.
Yeah, and definitely grab issue number 2 because it'll have the weirdest article you've ever read about Transformers.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue that.
That's a challenge.
It's going to be
it's
there.
Out there. It's out there.
It's got, if not the weirdest, it's definitely up there.
It's family friendly though, so
yeah.
Taper those expectations of how weird it is, but it's out
bizarre.
there. Do you guys have time for a question from us to you guys?
Oh, certainly, of course.
What I would like to hear from each of you is something that you think would be a cool topic to cover in an article in a future issue of ToyRobot magazine.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, looking at the poster you showed of all the mini bots, like something like that. Like, I'm kind of a character completist, so if there was like a rotating feature every magazine. That you made like some sort of attempt to like complete a collection photographically, like
yeah, that's cool.
These are all the seekers, and when I'm saying all the define it how you want, but like
yep.
all you look like you had all the G1 mini bots, but like what about all the Argentinian mini bots, or the South American mini, like something that is kind of cool, and you don't usually see it all together. A completist corner or something, something weird like that.
That's awesome.
You kind of mess around with that. I mean, but you got to do that right. You really have to. You got to have the goods to take the photos, and some of that stuff gets really, really, really hard to find. So
you
can lean on
that'll
that.
Be covered, but
yeah. So it's not, I don't know, something like that. I think that could be cool. I'd like to see it.
I say keep it simple. Every issue focus on hey, these are the basic figures of Beast Wars. These are all the basic figures of Beast Wars. Next issue, these are all the basic figures of Beast Machines. These are all the US Armada minicons, or these are all the eHobby minicons. Just keep it simple. The photography is great. Simple works.
Cool.
Before I go, I was going to mention in the chat that ToyCon Germany says that Germany says hi, and the 24/7 ToyCon Germany and I will try to help out with this project as much as they can.
Awesome.
That's my friend John, Germany. Yep, he's talking to me about getting some magazines over there that he could send out for us to maybe help alleviate some of those shipping issues that we were discussing.
Jawohl, ich liebe Deutschlandia. Aber ich spreche Deutsch nicht so gut. Aber ich liebe Deutschlandia.
Yeah, I have a German name and I can't speak German, so that's pretty sad.
So my pick would be some of
I'm Puerto Rican and I speak a little German. So that's I don't know what that says about you or me.
Yeah.
I was gonna say my pick is actually tied to Europe. So some of the spotlight on European Transformers, especially during the '90s, some of the stuff that we didn't get over here because they, released some really beautiful toys, and I think it would be really, really fun to see some of those.
I'm going to be reaching out to a lot of collectors because I don't have a lot of physical in-house examples. But I will be doing issue number 3. We'll have a multi-page write-up about Gig over in Italy.
Nice.
Because I feel there's so many people out there who are like, what? Like, I've seen people sell some of the Gig stuff. People are like, well, that's a knockoff. I'm like, no, it's not. It's just bizarrely rare. If you weren't in Italy or the surrounding couple of countries, you never saw this thing. Bam! Right there.
Yeah, boy. Yeah.
I was on my honeymoon in Lucca, Italy, and I randomly came across a toy convention, and it just seems wherever I go.
That's my only one.
Oh, that's a good one. Love the weird names. Wait, so you ran into a toy? You got a toy magnet on you, Rick?
Yeah, I was in Lucca.
Yeah.
We did this prepaid tour around Italy, and we were there the day they were having a toy convention. So everybody went to Lucca to go sightsee, and
It just
I
worked
went
out
to the
that way?
toy convention. And I came out of the toy convention, and I told my wife, I need to go to the ATM. And I have some really cool stuff from that toy convention.
And you guys ate ramen noodles the rest of the trip.
No, well, yeah.
So did you pay for that in lira or euro?
No, that was in Euro. Yeah, they didn't have liras anymore.
Okay. I didn't know how this. I wanted to place it.
I'm not that old, man. I know I look like I'm 50. I'm actually 40, so come on. I've been married. What's today? Friday. So I've been married
12 hours.
12 years. I don't know.
Congratulations.
It doesn't matter anymore.
So did your wife believe you when you said it was a coincidence that there was a toy show on your honeymoon?
She said, "Of course there was a toy show."
Yeah.
Of course.
Dude, I lived in Italy for 4 months during when Armada was ending, and I was like downloading the Unicron episodes of Armada. I couldn't find a toy store or anything for 4 months, and you just waltz in there, and they open the door. It's like, oh, we set this all up for you, Mr. Alvarez.
Signore Alvarez, benvenuto. Va bene.
Va
You
bene.
buy a toy? You buy the toy. Hey, you liking the juice? Yeah.
Oh, you gotta pay more.
Oh boy. Well, that's great.
I got a nice set of Frenzy headphones in the box from Italy.
Yeah, I love the gig packaging. I think they did a wonderful job.
Transformer, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that sounds fun. I hope you translate some of those articles into Italian for our Italian friends.
That's something we won't be able to do for a while, is all the translation of the articles.
Yeah.
But
Learn Italian.
oh yeah, no. Well, Google Translate.
Yep.
Yeah. Put it on the list, right?
Yeah.
So, well, thank you guys. I appreciate you stopping by. It was great hearing about the update and everything, and we look forward to ordering issue 2 here, and then of course when issue 3 comes up as well, and some of those great posters.
Yeah, we'll keep them coming.
So,
Stay hungry, guys. Thanks for coming on the show.
Okay, thank you
Thank
for
you for
having
having
us.
yeah, I
I hope you
appreciate
guys
it.
go vote.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Bye.
Well, they are nice guys. I will say they are nice guys, and I wish them all the best of luck.
Are we done? Is this over?
No, we
I wish them the best of
no, we're
luck.
just done with
They
those
just happen to
for
mention
now. I just didn't
everyone's,
want
like,
to
a
devote
huge
the
giant asshole in the world of Transformers. So
Sure.
yeah, between the guy who's the toy hunter and Bakan and asshole not. So
Well, some guys.
Hey, Rick,
you know.
just to let you know, we're still live here on the show, right? So.
oh yeah, no, I know. That's why I'm watching my language.
Right.
Oh, gotcha. Good.
Well, I mean, if you remember from the last interview, we asked them which conventions they'd been to, and it's really not their forte. So, like, they're as into the community and the robots and the Transformers as they are definitely not steeped in the drama, So I think,
and you know what? That makes them innocent. And
Exactly.
And I genuinely appreciate their innocence, especially Eric. He seems so innocent. I want the best for them both. The magazine looks amazing, and I hope it's very successful for them. It looks great. I really like that it wasn't just focused on Transformers. They had other articles in their GoBots. They had some kaiju stuff. We'll see where it goes, and I think it's got potential.
Well,
I agree.
one thing I think is kind of neat though is is the fact that they are featuring different collectors and whatnot in the fandom. And so I think if they keep that up and kind of rotate around who they're featuring, I think that can actually be a really, neat thing. Because I know like the Toys That Made Us, that they featured, I think, what was it, Sabertron was involved with that, but then there weren't like a lot of different people that were involved. So I think it'd be kind of neat to feature a few of the different, collectors and, people that have supported it and whatever over the years. So,
well, and a magazine is a different format that kind of like being on TV. Not everyone's going to they did interview other people for the Toys That Made Us. It just maybe all fell on the cutting room floor because as a group of collectors, we're very, we're pretty diverse in how we operate, discuss, communicate and stuff. But in the written word can work a lot better for more people than just me.
Not everyone has a gift of gab.
There you go.
And if you sit down and you think about it and you type it out and then you have someone edit it, you come across very differently than you do when you're speaking to someone.
100%.
So I believe it's time for our sponsors. I'd like to thank Harpoon Brewery and Dunkin' Donuts for collaborating. So this year, last year, Harpoon and Dunkin' Donuts worked together to put out a beer. This year, they did a Dunkin' 12-pack, which has the Jelly Donut IPA, the Boston Cream, the Pumpkin Porter, and I think the other one's Mocha Latte. Anyway, it's a limited release. Dunkin', so good they dropped donuts from their name. So, back to you.
Actually, didn't they just sell that company for $1 trillion to somebody?
Not to me.
Yeah, not to me either, but it happened.
I didn't get any of that money.
So Rick, are we just immediately going off topic here?
Well, now that we've had our interview section, that was great. We've done our commercial, and now we're transitioning to the second part of the show,
where we just talk about random stuff.
No, I mean tomorrow. Who knows what tomorrow will bring? Tomorrow's election day. Who knows what will happen? And with the potential coming change or chaos or whatever, maybe we should talk about what we look forward to.
I can tell you what tomorrow will bring for sure, and that is microcasters.
That is true. I do like Rick, how Rick tries to get us off topic, number one, and then tries to talk about the election. It's perfect. But yes, microcasters tomorrow night will be at 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern.
Yeah, you guys are doing a public service essentially, right?
Right. And we are trying to not think about the other things that are happening tomorrow, and so we are going to be spending our time, instead of watching TV, we'll be broadcasting, reviewing a transforming robot.
It's either going to be your biggest or smallest audience of all time.
Right. I'm planning on drinking so much that I don't wake up until Wednesday night, just in time for Oof My Wallet.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah,
we've changed the name and we've changed the host. It's now Oof My Wallet. We thought about changing it to Oi My Wallet, but that didn't play in certain areas. So Oof My Wallet.
You know what? I think I like that, because then it sort of separates it from
from what came before. This is the Generation 2.
Yeah.
Well, what's great is Rick, you should have told us that so that we could actually redo because we're using the same backgrounds and the same intro and all that type of thing for Ouch. So,
I might be able to throw something together.
Oh, there you go.
OMW, you too. Yeah.
I was gonna say, Paul, you actually have some professional skills over there. You can actually do some stuff.
I'm a worthless human being. I have no skills.
Just tape some stuff to the bottom of the screen here.
I think we're a little giddy right now, knowing that tomorrow's gonna be feast or famine.
And you live in Chicago, so you may not survive tomorrow.
Dude, the GameStop down the street from me is all wood. They boarded up the whole thing.
That's
and it was
because everybody
inside.
wants that Optimus Prime pony.
Well, they got looted. They got looted a few months ago. And so I think they're like, election day? Nope. And so they are they literally have boarded up the entire store with a little flag that says now we're open.
Yeah.
And I went in there the other day and there's like nothing on the shelves either. Because they're like, they know.
I feel you. My liquor store down here put all the Cabernet behind the counter.
With a sign that says for Rick Alvarez, is that?
They have a sign that says "Don't sell to this guy," so I have to walk in with a sombrero and a mustache.
So they don't know it's you.
That's right.
So my thought for the show was, or for the rest of the show, was to talk about like what we're, most anticipating for the rest of the year. I was going through, we were trying to actually schedule out what we were going to do for microcasters, and we're trying to time like the releases and like kind of what's coming out with all these exclusives and whatnot. And man, there's a lot of toys coming out in the next like couple months, a lot of Transformers. If you collect mainline, and then there's also a fair amount of third party that's gonna drop. There's Masterpiece. I know RC's coming. Tigertron I think just hit, right?
Yeah, and then there's all like the Soundwave purse and the Megatron water blaster, and I guess you could put water in there. You can put any liquid you want, really.
What is this?
Probably don't want to do dairy.
Yeah, probably not.
So, where do you get a Megatron squirt gun from? Wasn't that the Japanese thing?
Takara Mall, I think it is.
No, it's some like hentai statue website. That's the company that's selling the.
Are you getting those for me?
Yeah, but it's a little bit of a roll of the dice. It might, if you are caught engaging in commerce with a toy weapon in the United States.
Right.
You can go to prison.
Right.
So
I want one to open and one to keep sealed.
See you guys.
So, it's perfect for you. They're not going to put you in jail. First of all, you're white, and number two, you got a kid on the way. So
that's true. I should really lean into that.
Well, that was going to be the second part of Beast Wars. It was going to be called Race Wars.
Oh.
But it's actually Blur. And like all the Speed Planet guys.
Rick, are you trying to force me to actually like edit this episode? Like it's been a while since Rick has forced us to edit things out of the episode. But we're getting dangerously close. We're getting really close here.
I kept my clothes on this time. So, speaking of things we're looking forward to, is anyone else kind of bummed that we've actually pretty much have seen? We've seen so much of Kingdom and everything that's to come. Like, we've seen the Ark. The only thing I'm waiting for is for them to actually announce the Ark for us to go, yep, that's the Ark. And I bet you they call it Teletran.
They could. I think they're going to lean into the Last Autobot a bit, but would they actually name a product the Last Autobot? I don't know.
So there was a line of Transformers that I conceived and was trying to pitch called the Last Transformers.
I've heard you mention it. It's pretty fascinating.
Yeah, it took place like millions and millions of years in the future. But yeah, they're like, oh, we can't ever call it that. But
yeah,
it has the face of the Last Autobot, but I'm just thinking in my head, it's Teletran.
I'd accept it. I think that's a good idea.
So, what other surprise are we waiting? We're pretty much assuming Polar Claw is going to come out, right? We're assuming Scorponok's is going to come out.
Yes.
So,
should we?
Is that Australian release that's supposed to come out? There's an announcement on Friday, right? The 5th, I think.
Well, it was supposed to be last Friday, right? But it got moved.
It got
That's
moved,
what one of
right?
our, I think Zaldron or
Daylight
someone said.
savings time. So.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Once Walmart announced the Headmasters thing, or which are still not for sale a week later, or is it been 2 weeks now actually? I suddenly was like, you know what? I'm done predicting. I'm done being like, I know what's coming, because I don't. Because that was just like totally like a smack in the face, a good smack in the face. Holy cow!
I mean, that feels like a money grab.
Yeah.
Now, did you guys like those? I think that the rest of the cast we're on did not seem to appreciate the G1 style packaging with a reissue from Titan's Return. Like, do you think it's cool, or do you think it's not a great idea?
I think it's weird. It's weird because the art doesn't match the figure, and it's not going to be the same size as the G1 boxes. They're going to be considerably smaller. They're going to be thinner. It's a weird thing. And I think Chrome Dome is the only one that has enough of a color difference to make me want to get an extra one to open.
Right.
And I think, do they come with the Takara faces?
They do. And check the box art, because they modified the box art to match the Takara faces.
Right.
Which is I agree with you. It's straight up weird. I can't place it. I was annoyed when Ectotron came out and they put that in a regular G1 looking box. That annoyed me, but it's already happened now and it's come and gone, that I'm just like, yeah.
But now we're getting flux capacitor guy.
Gigatron.
So I mean, who's next?
Or Gigawatt.
Turtle now?
Sorry. Well, so the thing I wonder about is like, Walmart has all of these reissues that they're doing, not just for Transformers, but for all these different lines, like retro lines and whatnot. And I just wonder if they're just trying to find what's the right price point to release these and what's the right thing to release and whatnot. Because I feel like a lot of these Walmart reissues fly off the shelves initially, the first wave of the people like us that go and buy it right away. But then that second wave just sits there and shell forms because no one really wants to spend $50 on an Optimus Prime that doesn't have a trailer.
Right. And they just showed up back again in pre-orders for Walmart at $44.99.
But in general, like, a lot of those figures were just pretty expensive.
Yeah,
and so,
absolutely.
like, I know the blaster that they just released is actually pretty reasonable. I think it's like $30, which isn't too bad. Doesn't come with any tapes. But it's probably one of the cheaper ones that they've done compared to, I think Soundwave was what, like 40, 50? I can't remember.
50?
Yeah.
50. Yeah. I mean, I see a ton of blasters every Walmart I go around here. It's one of those molds that they have readily available to use. So that's who we got. You know, give me some G1 cars, I guess. But give me some G1 cars in like funky colors. You know, give me a cel-shaded Prowl.
But the other thing I wonder about is that, you know, we keep having new collectors that kind of hop on, and especially like it seemed like the demand for a lot of these mainline figures went way up with Siege and Earthrise and all that, and people even hopped in, you know, with the trilogy. And so I just wonder, like, I've seen a lot of the older Combiner figures are pretty expensive now. A lot of the Titans figures are expensive. And I haven't checked on these Headmaster figures to see what they're going for, but I wonder if part of this is to get, you know, for the collectors that collect, you know, one of everything in the variants and whatnot, but then also the people that are jumping in now, for them to get, like, if Hasbro's like, we're not planning on doing Headmasters again, you know, or whatever, or updates, so here you go, we're going to reissue these, but then they're going to be in different packaging.
Well, I mean, they're just these are Transformers Legends reissues. That's what they are. They just aren't being. They're kind of like rebranding them. I mean, and they've been doing this they did it with the clones, both the Autobots and the Decepticons. You know,
Right.
like the Decepticon clone pack is almost spitting image of the Legends toys. So I think they're just like, well, there's mold costs that we never used, even though it's just like the faces, the Titan Master piece, you know. But always in the end, if there's a mold difference, doesn't matter how long it takes, the other company's going to use it at some point. Like
That's
even
not
back
always
in
true.
it's
Not true.
There's definitely
a ton of mold
exceptions.
stuff that from my time that's just never been released, never been seen before.
Well, I mean, even like the Prime breakdown in the Viacons, like, hey, you just had to wait 10 years or whatever, but here it is. And I just remember when we had it was Cybertron Unicron and the Sharkticon, were like kind of U.S. exclusives for like 5-6 years, and then finally Takara Tomy did I don't know, one of those weird filler lines where they got used as the Axelon and like a different version. It's, at some point or other, the stuff usually crosses, and so now that they had these heads, they're using them, and I think it's great. It's just weird to me that they're being shoehorned into the G1 retro thing, because they're not retro, they're modern.
And yet we're getting the Unicron in a brown box, while Mattel is getting that gorgeous Snake Mountain in a beautiful high gloss box.
I mean, it's a NECA thing, wasn't it? That Snake Mountain, or was that like straight up Mattel?
No, it started with Mattel, and then Super 7 took it over.
Super 7, yeah. So, I mean, they kind of understand their collector focus a little differently than Hasbro, because they're always, Hasbro's working with, like, a much broader audience. But it is when you point it out like that, it does suck that we're getting a cardboard shipper box for a giant toy.
Well, and especially when you see that Snake Mountain just came out, and you see people online that have posted pictures with it, and you're like, man, that looks really neat. Wouldn't it be nice that our $600 Unicron came with a similar neat box? But
the Jabba Sail Barge has a nice box, right? And I'm sure the Razor Crest will have a nice box too. So Transformers fans kind of got shafted.
Well, we also didn't make any sales for a good 20 days in a row.
But you know what?
That's
what they get for just dropping it on us unannounced. For no build-up. There's like, hey, by the way, today you can start ordering this $500 Unicron. Go get it. Never mind your rent. Never mind your car payment, or that kidney transplant, or your
the Masterpiece Optimus Prime that dropped at the same time,
or your hairline replacement, Rick. Just go get the Unicron.
Well, in their defense, I would say it was like the second real HasLab thing, right? If you don't count Cookie Monster. So I feel like I think they've kind of hit their stride, and there were some balls that were dropped, but it's getting made. It's pretty big. It's crazy, and I think the aftermarket on that thing is going to make some people cry. So they did something right. They didn't do everything right.
What do you think the third-party add-on sets for that's going to be?
Oh, that's a great question.
New legs, new arms.
Maybe a nice base for him to stand on.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be cool.
Cybertron for him to stand on.
Well, I'm curious if they're going to make some more sets of smaller figures to interact with it, I'd love to see some actual painted figures that are smaller, because I'm never going to paint the ones that it came with, so...
Yeah, those slug figures are... they're a little too small, I would say.
Yeah.
But whatever. I mean, you can't ever do scale with Unicron, right? So you might as well make it super tiny.
Yeah. Well, any concern that the arc's going to go to HasLab? Because if you look at the pattern, we've had Star Wars, Transformers, and then Marvel. So now we have Star Wars. We haven't heard anything about the arc yet, even though we've seen a ton of pictures of it. It's on the packaging.
I am 1,000% positive that will not be an occurrence. But it's an interesting thought, because there has been discussion amongst, even on our show, of like, if they did another HasLab for Transformers, what would it be? And would it be smaller? Would it be more like another Titan? The thing everyone keeps saying is, Black Xeric to go with the Gold Marichi.
Give me a Metro Titan, man.
Yeah, I would really like the Metro Titan. That is a shame that they did not understand what you were trying to pitch with that. That is just a travesty.
Well, never say never. They still have the molds.
Yeah, I think if the team they had in place now, if I had been there, then yeah, maybe it's possible we would have gotten it. But different teams have different ideas. It was hard for us to get a female figure produced during my time because of certain people's opinions. Now, you've got a million RCs and Elita 1s out there on the shelves.
Yep.
Really hoping for a Transformers Prime Arachnia in the red line.
That would be cool. They could do all sorts of cool stuff with her, with those spindly leg things.
Yeah.
And stuff.
She'll come in a 2-pack with Botanica.
I'm really interested to see where that red line goes, because I've seen a lot of guys, like a lot of the Marvel Legend collectors and some of the groups that I'm in locally, have mentioned that they really want this red series. Like, they're not interested in transforming robots. Like, that's not what they collect. They collect legends. And so they're actually interested in these. So I'm kind of curious, like, what the market is going to be like, and if they're actually going to pick up some new fans with this red series.
I think this line's going to be a hit. I really do. And these have a lot of heft to them. This is a heavy Transformer toy.
For $20.
Yeah. Like, I didn't know really what to expect. And if you're used to mainline Transformers, like, this is a shock to your system. If you know, I don't know how different it is from like a regular Marvel Legend, but it's probably more similar to that than anything.
Here's something I've always believed in. You don't need Transformers has transcended from being a toy that turns into something. Right? The characters mean something. The characters have identities. There's no bios on the boxes, but the characters have identities. So I'm hoping we'll see more red stuff, more red figures. What does red stand for again? Robotically enlarged.
Robot enhanced design.
Okay. Right.
Red.
Right. You got the red? Maybe they'll make a blue series one day. Yeah. So Star Wars has the black series. Transformers has the red series.
Yeah.
So, and I really like how it could be any character from any line. Although it kind of like when you put them all together, it's like, this doesn't go with that, and that doesn't go with this, and.
It's kind of funny where we're at right now, because I remember back in the day going to BotCons and listening to Aaron kind of like try to like champion the Generations line or whatever. It's like, it's Generations. Like, we can put anyone together. And, like, they never really did what you kind of like thought was the best, what the potential for a Generations line was. But now
they got there eventually.
They did, but now we have like multiple Generations lines.
Yeah. I mean, hey, did we get there eventually, or did we get to a point where we ran out of characters? So, like, I mean, we've gotten Cybertron Optimus Prime, right? We've gotten Armada Starscream. We've gotten Armada Megatron. Beast Wars Rhinox. Beast Rat Trap. So did we just run out of characters? Or did eventually someone looked around and said, hey, there's all this shit that we're not using. Let's use it.
Well, I feel like the generations, like the end of that Thrilling 30 line, I feel like really kind of embodied the generations. Like there was a lot of different, they put Beast Wars in there and threw some different stuff in there. So they kind of did that a little bit with that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. We love to go back to the G1 well though.
I don't think it's possible to run out of characters in Transformers. What is the count at? Does anyone know? Is there a count somewhere?
More than 12.
Yeah, there's definitely more than 12.
Right.
I mean, is it like...
'cause I went to the store and they must have had at least like 8 guys there. And then I have a bunch at home. So
yeah, at least 13.
So I think hands up if you think we're going to get a Red Series Repugnus in the next couple of weeks.
No.
Repugnus is coming to Red. Write
Bank it.
down that I said it on this day.
So, but is he going to be a bug or is he going to be a robot?
It's going to be Repugnus.
Okay.
Repugnus and Skybite. They're going to be in the red line, and probably Whirl.
Look, it's like Spaceballs Mayor Optimus Prime. Why didn't anyone tell me my ass was so big?
And he's got the right size gun too.
Yeah, the proportions are like correct.
Yeah. Any final thoughts? Tomorrow's election day.
I'm voting.
If you're registered to vote, go vote. I'm not telling you who to vote for. Just go vote. It's important. It's your civic duty. It gives you a reason to complain when something's not good.
There you go. Yeah, probably most of the people that listen to this or watch this will have already voted by the time. But I'll try and put this up immediately tomorrow morning, Rick, just for you, so that someone could listen to this and say, man, I didn't even think about voting until I listened to TFYLP. Like, the constant reminders that I get everywhere else.
Yes. Oh, crap. We need a Rector in the red line. But he comes like in the Baby Yoda box, like the Black Series Baby Yoda, which is like a small box.
That would be
there
be something else.
How many Baby Yodas are we going to see on the shelf? Like, I mean, it's just crazy.
Let me tell you something about Baby Yoda. My daughter has never seen Star Wars. She's 6. She's never seen The Mandalorian. We were at the store the other day. She's like, Daddy, I want a Baby Yoda.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, what? I want the big one. I want Baby Yoda. Tell Santa Claus, write that shit down, and you fucking tell him, I want that Baby Yoda.
Is that exactly how she put it?
That's verbatim what she said.
She's like, I'm going to kill Santa. Hard, Santa doesn't bring Baby Yoda.
Dude, I'm telling you with the Baby Yoda thing.
And then she looked at me. She went like this, and I leaned in and she said, this is the way. You got that?
They did not know Baby Yoda was going to be so big. They did not predict it. I think it hit them like a ton of bricks when the world blew up over that stuff, because they were not prepared. And now they are. And there's so much Baby Yoda stuff, you trip on it walking through the store. It's just they're over flexing now.
Yeah. What do you think's going to happen first? They're going to bring back the mammoth, or they're going to develop a Baby Yoda? The problem with Baby Yoda, you can't get it wet, you can't put it in sunlight, and you can't feed it after midnight.
It's a gremlin.
Same rules apply to Baby Yoda.
Oh, they do? Shit.
Right. And the problem is that thing lives forever, so it's a generational pet. So it's like, my grandfather got this Yoda when he was a little boy.
It's still alive. Did you guys watch?
Turtle. That thing doesn't die.
No, I haven't. No, instead of watching the show, I'm on a podcast here. So.
Oh well, I thought the first episode was pretty strong. So.
Season 2, the first episode gets right to the good shit. It gets right to it. It's like, no, we're not making you wait. Here it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's what you wanted to see. Here it is. Just enjoy. Here it is. So. They should, Disney, if you're listening, you probably are. Please release episode 2 tomorrow. Give me something. Please release episode 2 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, my kid already was like, "Can we watch this thing already?" Because all the kids at school are talking about it. So I need to watch it here with him.
Wow, that's got to be tough going to school and everyone. Yeah, you got to keep them on their toes. So he's the one spoiling.
Right. It was like going to work and not having seen Lost. And I was like, "What are you guys talking about? What the hell's the I don't know. I don't watch that show." So, and then I watched the show.
We haven't had a show like that in a while, you know.
No.
Game of Thrones kind of, you know, whatever. But
it seems all the shows shit the bed after a while. You know, Game of Thrones, Lost, they all kind of just like teetered out.
I felt like Breaking Bad was strong till the end.
I can't get past season 3, man. I'm still stuck in season 3 purgatory.
You just got to push through it.
Was season 3 like the boring season? Because that's like where I'm at.
4 and 5, it gets better as the longer you go with it, more dramatic and whatnot.
It does. It ends. I mean, the last season is incredible.
Yeah,
the last season is really good. Let me see. So, I mean, I know we're talking about what we're looking forward to in toys, especially Transformers. I feel like we should reward people for watching through this whole episode with us.
Listen,
if you tell them something they don't know.
I'm going to mail this to you. Email me at cutthetape@tftalk.net, and I'll mail this to you. And you can put things on it like this, and then you can put other things in front of it, so it looks like a little step. And you don't have to buy. Shipping and handling applies though. So, I don't know. This is probably going to be like $12 to ship.
If I have read a leak recently of something I know is coming, and it's a Generation Selects, and I think it's going to be the next like Centurion drone with the parts and stuff, like the weapon packs and whatever. But the leak that I read was that it's going to be transmutate, and it's going to be a fossilizer redeco, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was a Build-A-Figure, and we just saw that leak of that new Ractonite fossilizer, which I thought was funny because there was like a plastic bag in the box with the toy. Did anyone notice that? It's like definitely not. It's like a pre-production photo that leaked. Look at it again, and there's a big plastic bag like wedged into the box.
Like to prop the figure up or something?
Kinda, yeah. It just looks so gross. Like it looks like a used lunch bag. But that, like, particularly that Ractonite, that might be it. So
it's weird. Like, Transmutate is a character not everybody knows about. Not everyone watches Beast Wars. They should.
He was only in one episode.
Transmutate was a what episode, character on a show that was not allowed to play on the hub because it was off-brand. I would love a new Transmutate. Isn't there a third party that said they're making a Transmutate?
Well, the third parties like to piggyback off of what's coming too. So I did hear that too. I think that was part of the TFCon panel.
Yes. Speaking of TFCon, check out my interview with Dan Romano.
Yeah.
He was the little boy pictured on the G1 Trailbreaker Power Cycle. For absolutely no reason at all, he came to my house, and we talked about it on film.
Because you wanted him to sign your box,
I wanted him to sign my box, and it looks like he just wrote a number on it. I don't know. But he's an incredibly nice guy, and he gave me an incredible gift. And if you ever want to hear what it was like to be a little boy photographed and put on the box of a Transformer, check it out.
There you go. All right. Well, on that, I appreciate everyone for joining us tonight in the chat. Catherine, Zaldron.
Zaldron!
Zoltron.
ToyCon Germany.
The Drecker.
Ja, wie geht's? Wie geht's, mein Herrs? Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss.
And
So, yeah.
Eric and Bill.
Thank you again to Eric and Bill for joining us earlier tonight to give us an update. And check us out tomorrow night, Microcasters, on the tftalk.net Facebook page. And then Wednesday night for, what do we call it? Oi, my wallet.
My wallet.
Oof, my wallet.
My wallet.
Ouch, my wallet. Whatever you want to call it. At 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. So thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you next week.
Best of luck to Eric and Bill.
You'll see me on Wednesday.